No, and I hear stories like that from Covenant House and other places, transition houses, all of that.
Any first touch agency. Yeah.
Yes, giving homeless a bed, not enough. Giving them love and some encouragement and a step up somehow.
Yeah, but it's also the pathway into reconnecting them to the services that they require and the housing. If you don't have, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you don't deal with the housing and the food, the fact that they need all of these basics before they can start looking for a job, getting back into education, you know, any of those things, they need to have the basics first.
Even clothes, because to go to a job interview,
showers,
underwear,
absolutely,
socks.
Everything. It's the absolute basics, you know, and they have to rebuild their confidence, right? Because they're powerless, they're pushed around, they don't have many rights, and they've lost their confidence, and so that's one of the things that we need to do.
What are the rules at Lookout, at the Emergency Aid Society?
It's extremely minimal barrier. You know, you come in and 24/7, the door is always open in our shelters. You tell us what we need, and we can tell you what we can help you with, and through forming that relationship, maybe we can get somewhere.
So anyone, any age, any ethnicity?
We deal with adults. Lookout deals with adults. The youth are referred to other resources like Covenant House that you mentioned earlier.
Right.
And women, if they're victims of violence, if there's a bed at a transition house, we will triage them, if you will, and get them into a different resource. But Lookout is a safety net. If you can't stay anywhere else, we're there to help.
What does a mother do who has children and does not have one dime, can't seem to work the system or get any money from the system, not work the system particularly, but if you're homeless and you have kids, what are your options?
There's now a number of resources available. So first thing they could do is phone 211, right? Our neighborhood. There's a number of resources, the E-Fry Society, there's St. James, but you know, we need to make it as easy as possible for people who are homeless or who are really challenged or are threatened with homelessness to be able to access the services. So 211 is what I'm suggesting these days.
Okay, and who counts the homeless? I know that sounds rude, but they always have the homeless count is, and we're up or we're down. Who does that? And how accurate is it?
Okay, so you're talking about the Regional Steering Committee on Homelessness, which is the group that has the plan, the regional plan, 3 Ways to Home, and we do the count. And that table is a diverse table. It's made of government, business, nonprofits, housing providers, community services, faith community, and we are the oversight of doing the count. And we know that it's an imperfect way of counting people. I mean, it's a point in time. It's only for those people who you visually see on the street that day, which is a poor way of doing it. But it really is the only way that we have of being able to identify, at least at this point, it's the only way that we have to identify whether we're doing better and whether people are still out in the streets surviving. Right.
Is there a city in Canada or in the United States that has a stellar model for addressing homelessness? A New York, a Chicago, a Seattle?
You know, I would say to you that the Lower Mainland, Vancouver, used to be the stellar model at dealing with homelessness, with small resources placed in numerous communities. Yeah, there's many locations. London, England has some. Down in the United States, in California, there's some. Portland in the United States is probably the closest similar to the Lower Mainland. And
what are they doing? Like, what can we learn? It's a continuum, it's prevention.
It's a continuum of housing, it's making sure that people have multiple entry points to it, that it is client-centered, that it is available to them in a number of different locations, not just all centralized in one place. And a number of outreach workers who are able to follow the person through the process
Sure.
and support them.
Mm-hmm. And as you suggest, a number of different locations. There are homeless people in every suburb and in every
They're
small
everywhere.
town. They're everywhere. It's not just on the downtown east side. However, being on the downtown east side, it can be a bit more dangerous. I know there was a report the other day about addicts, young women addicts getting their heads shaved because they hadn't paid a drug debt, a very small drug debt, $40 drug debt, probably homeless.
And that's not new. That's, unfortunately, it's not new. I mean, when I started 40 years ago, I was picking dead bodies out of garbage cans. It's, you know, it is not pleasant, but people will do what they need to do to survive. And if that's what they feel they have to do, or if they've totally and completely given up, and unfortunately too many people have totally given up because they haven't been able to access the right services and support.
So on your wish list, Karen O'Shaughnessy, Lookout Shelter, what do you need? What does the shelter need? What do the homeless need that they are simply not getting?
We need more housing.
Housing.
We need homes for people with the appropriate support. Meaning that if a person has mental health issues, that the mental health team can come in and provide services on site for them. If they need home support, you know, housekeeping assistance, that they can come in. And then they need the opportunities for the next steps. What are those next steps? Better education, training, and some of the social enterprises. And that's what Lookout is trying to do now. That's our next steps.
And you're having a fundraiser, Hearts for the Homeless Gala, October 12th at Coast Hotel?
Cole Harbour.
Cole Harbour.
And it's to raise money for the 129 units that we're hoping to open in February. We need to furnish it now.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.